Okay, so if your Sony headphones have the problem where they flash twice when they're supposed to be charging and they don't charge, this is what you can do about it. First of all, you need to take all the screws out of the left ear, because that's where we're going to do the work. Once you've taken the first panel off, you'll use a plastic spudger to pop it off, and then there will be a few more screws on the next panel inside. You need a pH1 or a pH0 screwdriver, quite small for this. Once you've done that, you'll be able to see the circuit board inside that has the wire harness that we need to access. So the first thing I'm going to do is test the battery voltage. A healthy lithium battery will never fall below 2 volts. So if your voltage is below this, then you may need to replace the battery instead of continuing with the repair. If the voltage is between 3 and 4.2 volts, your headphones should turn on just fine. Next thing we're going to do is investigate the thermal sensor. This will be labelled TH on the wiring harness, and we want to measure the resistance between this and ground. The reading should be around 10,000 ohms or 10 kilo ohms. In mine it was 150,000, indicating sub-zero temperatures. What I've done now is removed the thermal sensor from the connection point to see if the problem changes. In my case, removing the thermal sensor left me with the same problem, and so I'm happy to move on to the next step, because after removing the thermistor, the headphones still show that there's a problem with the thermistor. What I want to try is tricking the headphones, and so when I press just with my fingers the ends of that 10k resistor onto the TH and the ground terminal, I see that the light goes solid while it's charging. I'm quite happy to keep an eye on these headphones while they're charging every time, so I'm quite happy to replace the thermal sensor with a fixed 10k resistor so that the headphones will work once again. It's not best practice to work on something while it's still connected to the power, but I have done it here. It's not something I recommend, and if you're using metal tweezers, you absolutely need to disconnect from the power before working on it. I really enjoy using ceramic tweezers because they don't have the chance of causing a short, they don't conduct heat well, and they don't bend either. And once that resistor is in place,
and there we go, we're charging.
So there you have it, an incredibly cheap way to restore an old pair of headphones that would have been otherwise destined for the landfill. Now we just need to reassemble the headphones in the same way that we took them apart. Really fairly simple. Everything fits together in a logical way, and you just need to put the screws back in and then put the ear cover back on. I hope this has been helpful. Feel free to reach out with any questions or thoughts, and I look forward to seeing you in a future video.